If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, you won't find a finer vessel than the Northern Maiden. If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore. Surprised you've never heard of it. It's an island northeast of here. That's a small dark elf town called RavenRock, and a handful of Nords living in Skaal Village. People don't usually sail over there unless they have a particular reason. It can be a pretty rough place. I'll give you a fair price. Not many people headed over there these days. If you ask me, I can't blame them. Things aren't what they used to be out there. They still pay me for supplies and passage, and I can always use the coin. Still interested in heading over there? And you've got yourself a ship. We'll cast off immediately.
If you're looking for passage, talk to Captain Pagliarulo.
It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. And it's not right losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim. Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there. All right, you have a point. Taking you back to find out who sent them is the least I can do. Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there. I owe them a bit of payback myself. Well, here we are. Welcome to RavenRock. Just be careful here. Things aren't what they used to be. Well, here we are. This is RavenRock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to RavenRock, Outlander. State your intentions. Mirak, I'm not sure. Did I do? I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. You picked one of the worst places in Morrowind to do that, but suit yourself. Just remember, RavenRock is sovereign territory of House RavenRock. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? RavenRock started out as an Imperial settlement. The Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles, and when House RavenRock took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home. I have to be. As second counselor, the security of RavenRock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here. We've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together. I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Veteran's representative on Solstheim. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain that his rule is enforced. How can you have Dunmer blood in your veins and have no knowledge of Blacklight? It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from there. Hail, Jolland.
Well met, Admiral. Before you even ask, yes, I have the supplies you requested. But
what?
this load cost me double what we'd agreed on. Nothing I can do about it.
Damn it, Jolland, you know we don't have that much coin.
Look, the East Empire Company didn't give me a choice. They've raised their prices again, and there's nothing I can do about it.
After all these years, they're gouging us for every last drake we have. Let me talk to Laeral. I'll see what we can do.
All right, Admiral. Don't worry about rushing. Just pay me when you can.
Your visit here will be tolerated as long as you abide by our rules. Otherwise, you'll answer to the Redolent Guard.
Seeking passage to Windhelm? I've been sailing the Northern Maiden across the Sea of Ghosts for nearly 20 years now. Not at all. I used to fish the waters around Solstheim. Made a damn fine living at it, too. But over the years, the ash from Red Mountain poisoned the sea up there, and the fishing became difficult. If it weren't for my supply runs to RavenRock, I'd have likely sold my ship by now and moved back to Riften.
The idle mind sleeps.
The Master calls.
The Master calls.
The Master calls.
The Master calls.
He draws near.
I am his hands.
I am his hands. He draws near. I am his hands. The Master calls.
Here in his shrine.
That they have forgotten.
That we might remember.
By night we reclaim.
What by day was stolen.
Far from ourselves.
He grows ever near to us.
Our eyes once were blinded.
Now through him do we see.
Now through them does he speak.
And when the world shall listen.
And when the world remembers, that world will cease to be.
It's a shrine for... I don't remember. I thought I remembered, but now I'm not so sure. Is it important, or did I imagine that?
Here in his shrine.
That they have forgotten.
Here do we toil, that we might remember.
By night we reclaim what by day was stolen.
Far from ourselves, he grows ever near to us.
Our eyes once were blinded.
Now through him do we see.
Our hands once were idle.
Now through them does he speak.
And when the world shall listen,
And when the world shall see.
and when the world remembers, that world will cease to be.
You there. You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here? Mirek. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense. Mirek's been dead for thousands of years. I'm not sure, but it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there. It's true that I normally prefer to stay home and conduct my research in peace. Everything's so much more convenient there. But given that something seems to be taking control of the minds of all the inhabitants, I thought it worth investigating. I have gone to some pains to ensure that I am immune to many forms of control. I cannot say for certain which is currently protecting me, but it bears further investigation at some point. Building something, clearly, and yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish. Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out. That's that, then.
By night we reclaim.
What by day was stolen. Far from ourselves.
Now, through me, do you see?
Now through them does he speak.
And when the world shall listen.
And when the world remembers.
That world will cease to be.
That they have forgotten.
That you have forgotten.
Here do we toil.